Hey there, welcome to another Let's Meet video. Today we have one of the most adorable characters from the gaming world. Let's discover the story and interesting facts about Ellie from The Last of Us. Ellie is the deuteragonist and secondary playable character of The Last of Us and the protagonist of American Dreams and Left Behind. A 14-year-old survivor, Ellie is, quote, mature beyond her years as a result of the circumstances of her environment. She is voiced and mocapped by the amazing Ashley Johnson. Ellie was born several years after the spread of fungal pandemic. As a result, she grew up in an oppressive military quarantine zone in Boston with little knowledge of the world before infection. Before she died, Ellie's mother, Anna, asked Marlene to watch Ellie. However, Ellie never really met Marlene until she was 13 years old. According to Ellie, at one point in her life, she drove a car. Around the time Marlene and Ellie planned to leave Boston for Salt Lake, Marlene was injured during her search for the smuggler Robert. Desperate to send her out of Boston, Marlene hires fellow smugglers Joel and Tess to bring Ellie out of the city before the military wipes out the Fireflies. It is never mentioned, but due to the fact that the events of the game transpire over the course of a year, by the end of the game it is possible that she has turned 15 years old. Having been raised in an environment where modern standards and values have deteriorated, Ellie is considerably rash, full-mouthed, impulsive and temperamental, and isn't fazed by the notion of using violence as a means to an end or profanity as a way of expressing how she feels. However, she manages to maintain a particular innocence as she has yet to see the darkest side of human nature and retains a palpable trust in people. She apologized to the soldier scanning her moments before stabbing him in the leg and hoped to incapacitate him with non-lethal means. Ellie is also perceivably clever and witty, and will do whatever it takes to keep Joel and herself alive. She has good survival instinct and she can be resourceful. She takes orders from Joel, but all the while makes it clear she does not, quote, need any babysitting at all. Ellie is enthusiastic about the outside world, given her confinement to her quarantine zone during her childhood. She is obsessed with things she collects from others, illustrated through her interest in music, movies, books, and video games. She frequently remarks her amusement upon finding interesting collectibles through their trip, which often clashes with Joel's physical indifference. Ellie seems to adhere to no religion, as seen when she claims that she goes back and forth when asked by Sam if she believes in an afterlife. She says that she would like to believe it, but admits,
I go back and forth. I mean, I'd like to believe it.
But you don't.
I guess not.
Ellie also suffers from a case of monophobia, the fear of being alone, and states to Sam that she fears losing others she cares about, such as Joel. The cause of this case is possibly related to her estranged parents and the death of her best friend Riley and her hired guardian, Tess. Both of them were victims of the fungus and both had gotten infected while in her company. Soon after admitting her fear to Sam, he too joins the list. Ellie showed difficulties in positioning herself as a young kid in an adult's eyes, and she also takes justice into her own hands on her relationships with anyone and does not think she requires any adult's consent. This self-parenting trait is related to her time spent in an orphanage, where she had learned to fend for herself. An example is when Joel falls on a iron rod. She takes Joel by horse to an abandoned mall in order to find supplies. Afterward, she takes him to an abandoned house and continues to nurse him back to health while getting them food and medicine from David. Initially, Ellie is fairly unskilled in techniques to survive. Swimming is crucial given the amount of water bodies in the location she travels, but she cannot swim. She carries a switchblade, which is her only weapon until she is trusted with a gun by Joel. Later on, she becomes more proficient in fighting, sporting a number of weapons such as a pistol, a rifle, bow, and explosives, along with her trademark switchblade. Ellie is in some occasions a playable character, and she is at first armed with a bow, which she uses quite well. Compared to Joel, however, she has limited hand-to-hand combat skills, as she is unable to take down a full-grown man easily. Her stealth capabilities are similar to Joel's, and she even has a less honed version of the listening mode that Joel has. She is relatively inexperienced compared to Joel, and she is often surprised in the storyline, but she is still effective as a partner, since she can spot enemies for Joel and at times fight alongside him. However, Ellie's most important and unique ability is her complete immunity to her fungus. Due to a strange mutation in her brain that developed following her initial infection, she became immune to the bites and spores of the infected. It is presumed that if she was properly studied, some form of cure or countermeasure for the infection could be created. This is never clarified, since the study will result in her death, which Joel will not allow. It was revealed that Ellie has been redesigned to bear a greater resemblance to her voice actress' appearance and personality. Neil Druckmann, the game's creative director, spoke of the change, saying, quote, "After delving further into the game's narrative over the past few months, we decided to modify Ellie's model to better reflect Ashley's personality and also resemble a slightly younger teen, more fitting to the story. We're happy with the final result shown in the cinematic we have released, and we hope the fans like her too." Ellie is described as having auburn hair, green eyes, fair skin with freckles, a scar on her right eyebrow, and a thin stature. When asked in an interview about her eyebrow scar, Neil Druckmann states that there is a story behind her scar, but says that he won't share the story yet. She gained the scar before American Dreams, Left Behind, and The Last of Us took place. Ellie is the only known human to be immune to the cordyceps brain infection. While the player is controlling Joel, Ellie is invisible to enemy artificial intelligence. This was an intentional design choice made by Naughty Dog so that she never accidentally gives away Joel's position. This also happens with other characters such as Bill or Tess. In the initial version of the game, Ellie's first kill was supposed to be Tess, who would have been the main antagonist. Ellen Page, who stars in another PlayStation exclusive game, said that she didn't appreciate Naughty Dog ripping off her likeness due to her appearance in Beyond Two Souls, released only 4 months after The Last of Us. The ending is somewhat similar to the beginning of the game, but reversed. In the prologue, Joel and Sarah start off at home and then use the car to escape the infected, which eventually crashes, forcing Joel to carry Sarah. Sarah then dies in Joel's arms. Near the end of the game, an unconscious Ellie, reminiscence of the dying Sarah, is carried by Joel out of the hospital into a car. The duo then drives to Tommy's settlement. Neil Druckmann stated in one of his interviews that it was intentional for the opening shot to begin with Sarah and the ending shot to end with Ellie. In Left Behind, in the photo booth, Ellie types her surname. Though it is encrypted, it can be seen that her surname consists of 8 letters. The Japanese game manual lists her last name as Williams, which is also 8 letters. In an optional conversation during the spring chapter, Ellie tells Joel about a dream she had the other night. She says she found herself inside of a crashing plane full of distressed people.
I dreamt about flying the other night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Go on, tell me about it.
So, I'm on this big plane full of people, and everyone is screaming and yelling because the plane's going down. So I walk to the cockpit, open the door, but there's no pilot. I try to use the controls, but I obviously have no clue how to fly a plane. And right before we crash, I wake up. I've never been on a plane. Isn't that weird?
Well, you know, dreams are weird.
There are many discussions on the interpretation of Ellie's dream. One being that the inability to control the plane could signify Ellie's uncertainty of making it in the end. Another interpretation implied that the people in the plane signified the human race, the plane crashing symbolized humanity's downfall, and her attempt at flying it was her as humanity's saving grace, the vaccine. Joel is said to have woken her up from the dream, stopping her from killing herself to save the plane full of people. These community interpretations not only deepen the player's knowledge of Ellie, but it ripples and emphasizes Joel's decisions towards the end of the game. Thank you for watching another episode. Hit the like button if you liked the video and subscribe to our channel for more Let's Meet videos and TV shows versions of amazing games. Thank you for being there and we see you on another video. Bye bye.